Your escape plan. The simple path to wealth and the true meaning of financial freedom. Imagine, for a moment, a world where your alarm clock is a suggestion, not a command. A world where you work not because you must, but because you choose to. This isn't a fantasy reserved for lottery winners or tech founders. It's a tangible destination on a surprisingly simple map. This is the core promise of J.L. Collins's best-selling book, The Simple Path to Wealth. Born not from a financial expert's desire for profit, but from a father's love and wisdom for his teenage daughter, this book distills a lifetime of hard-won financial experience into a series of straightforward letters. What began as a private roadmap to guide a young adult through life's financial minefields has since resonated with over 400,000 readers worldwide, striking a chord with its profound and simple thesis. Wealth is not about accumulating luxury. It's about purchasing freedom. Collins frames this philosophy with an evocative parable of two old friends. One, a powerful minister to the king, the other, a humble monk. The minister, pitying the monk's simple diet of rice and beans, suggests that if he served the king, he could afford so much more. The monk's quiet reply turns this logic on its head. If you could learn to live on rice and beans, you wouldn't have to cater to the king. This story illustrates the book's foundational choice. Do you want to trade your life energy for an ever-expanding lifestyle? Or can you find contentment with less to buy back your most precious asset? Your time. The Simple Path champions the latter, aiming to bring you closer to the monk's freedom. The unbeatable formula. 3 steps to unlocking your potential. The brilliance of Collins' system lies in its elegant simplicity. He dismisses the complex, jargon-filled world of high finance, arguing that its opacity is often designed to profit advisors, not you. Instead, he offers a timeless 3-step formula that anyone can follow. Spend less than you earn. This is the non-negotiable bedrock of wealth creation. Collins argues that if your lifestyle matches or exceeds your income, you are no more than a gilded slave. The goal is to create a gap between what you make and what you spend, a surplus. He famously advocates for a 50% savings rate, the habit that he credits with saving his own financial life. This isn't about deprivation, but about conscious choice and realizing that wanting less will make it easier to live with less. As your income grows, both your savings and your lifestyle can expand proportionally, accelerating your journey. Avoid debt like the plague. For Collins, debt is not a tool. It's a vicious, pernicious destroyer of wealth-building potential. He describes carrying debt as appealing as being covered with leeches. Debt enslaves you to your employer, diminishes your lifestyle, and consumes the surplus you could be investing. This applies to all debt, including what is often labeled good debt. He advises buying the least house you need, not the most you can afford, and is particularly critical of student loans for inflating education costs. His rule is clear. If you have high-interest debt, above 6%, eliminating it is your absolute top priority, a hairs-on-fire emergency. Invest the surplus in low-cost index funds. This is the engine that transforms your savings into wealth. Collins cuts through the noise of stock picking and active fund management with one powerful recommendation. Put your money in a broad, low-cost U.S. stock market index fund, specifically recommending Vanguard's Total Stock Market Index Fund, VTSAX, or its ETF, VTI. His reasoning is ironclad. By owning a slice of the entire market, you capture its historical average growth while paying near zero fees. Actively managed funds, he points out, are a profitable business for the companies that run them, but their high fees are a continual drag on your returns. The FU Money Mindset, from wage earner to free individual. The ultimate goal of this 3-step process is what Collins memorably calls FU Money. This is not a vulgarity for its own sake. It's a powerful psychological concept. FU Money is a financial cushion, and eventually, full financial independence, That grants you the ultimate privilege of choice. It's the power to walk away from a toxic job, take a sabbatical, or weather a layoff without panic. It transforms work from an obligation into an option. Financial independence, FI, is the mature realization of this concept. Collins defines FI as the point where your investment portfolio is large enough to cover your annual living expenses through a safe, sustainable withdrawal rate. Using the well-researched 4% rule as a guide, you need a nest egg roughly 25 times your annual expenses. Once you cross this threshold, you can theoretically withdraw 4% per year to live on, with high historical confidence that your portfolio will last a lifetime. This is the mathematical definition of freedom. Your money works for you so you don't have to. Navigating the market, the unshakable truths for success. Investing can feel intimidating, but Collins demystifies it by anchoring his advice to a few unshakable historical truths about the stock market. The market always goes up, over time. Despite world wars, recessions, and crashes, the long-term trajectory of the U.S. stock market over the past 120 years has been decisively upward. This is because you're not buying slips of paper. You're buying ownership stakes in thousands of real companies full of people striving to grow and innovate. Crashes and volatility are inevitable. Major market declines of 20% or more are not anomalies. They are a feature of the system, occurring roughly every 25 years, with smaller dips more frequently. The key is to expect them. The winning move is to stay the course. Given the first two truths, the single most important factor for investment success is your own behavior. The greatest risk is not market volatility, but panicking during a downturn and selling low. Collins' strategy requires the discipline to keep investing regularly, a practice called dollar-cost averaging even and especially when prices are falling. This will be much harder than you think, he warns, but staying invested is how you harness the power of compounding over decades. Putting it into practice, your personal roadmap. So, how do you actually walk this path? Collins provides a clear, stage-based framework. Stage 1. The wealth accumulation phase. The go-go years. This is when you are saving aggressively and growing your nest egg. During this stage, Collins advocates an aggressive 100% allocation to stocks via your chosen total market index fund. The goal is maximum growth, and your long-time horizon allows you to ride out volatility. Stage 2. The wealth preservation phase, nearing and in retirement. As you approach or enter financial independence, preserving what you've built becomes more important. At this point, Collins recommends introducing bonds to smooth out the ride. He suggests shifting 20 to 50% of your portfolio into a fund like the Vanguard Total Bond Market Index Fund, VBTLX/BND, to reduce risk and provide stability for withdrawals. Understanding your tools. Collins simplifies the investment universe into 3 core tools. Stocks, your primary engine for growth and an inflation hedge. Bonds, your stabilizer and deflation hedge, providing income and reducing portfolio volatility. Cash, essential for emergencies and short-term needs, but a poor long-term investment due to inflation. Beyond the formula, the deeper philosophy of enough. While the how-to is remarkably simple, the true power of the simple path to wealth lies in the deeper mindset shift it fosters. Collins forces you to confront the opportunity cost of every dollar spent. That $20,000 car doesn't just cost $20,000. It costs the $1,600 that money could have earned in its first year invested and the compounded returns for decades after. Spending is not just losing money, it's losing the future money that money could have created. This leads to the book's most liberating idea. Financial independence has as much to do with limiting your wants as it does with increasing your income. High-income earners often go broke, while those with modest means can achieve FI by consciously designing a life rich in everything but unnecessary expenses. It's about aligning your spending with your values, finding the happiness per dollar in experiences and security rather than in status symbols. Who is this path for? The young graduate. Starting your first job with this knowledge is a superpower. You can avoid debt traps and let compounding work its magic for 40-plus years. The mid-career professional. Feeling the golden handcuffs tightening? It's not too late to change your trajectory, pay off debt, and aggressively save for a fulfilling second act. The anxious future retiree. Anyone seeking a clear, uncomplicated, and evidence-based strategy to build lasting security will find peace of mind here. Anyone overwhelmed by finance. If you want the rewards of investing without becoming an expert, this book is your perfect guide. A final word on simplicity and freedom. The Simple Path to Wealth is more than an investment manual. It's a manifesto for a freer life. It recognizes that money is the single most powerful tool we have for navigating this complex world, and that you must choose whether to master it or be mastered by it. By embracing the simple, disciplined formula of spending less, avoiding debt, and investing in low-cost index funds, you are not just building a portfolio. You are building autonomy, security, and the profound freedom to live life on your own terms. As Collins reminds us, money can buy many things, but nothing more valuable than your freedom. Your simple path to claiming it starts today.